This is like, it's amusing, but it's still really just how disrespectful people can be. So my homie was over here, and I live in the same neighborhood as his auntie, and so once in a while, like he'll stop by, and people know if he's in town. It's one of the two places. And I said I live on a street corner, so it's not that hard to figure out where I live. And this dude, he comes knocking on the door. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning because I work graveyard and it's my day off, so we're just over here kicking it, listening to music and stuff. I'm doing my laundry, and dude comes to my door and raps on it, and I open it, and he asked if my homie was here, and I said yeah, and he went over there and looked, and so he came in, and I told him right when he got here, I was like, you cannot do drugs here, like you cannot do drugs here. We don't do drugs here. I don't want you doing drugs here. And he was like, okay, okay. I could tell by his face he was a cluckard, just the way he looked. I was like, oh, he's a baser. He's a baser, and just he roams around like think of the movie Friday, smoking. He's like, no, worse than that, like a Chris Rock smoking crack type baser. But I could tell. But that's why I let him come in because I needed to analyze him because he knew, I opened the door so he saw my face. And so I just, when people, sometimes you have to bring them in so you can feel them out. And that's why I said I've never been robbed or raped. Don't plan on it today. And people in my old industry, yeah, we end up in the bottom of rivers or lakes all the time. Not me. Why? 'Cause I'm smart and God loves me. But anyways, I told them no drugs. And then they're talking. And I don't know what the dude did anyways. Just tell everybody when they come here, no drugs. And then they're talking, and then dude went out. He left, and he came back, and he was literally. When I looked over at him, because I said I'm walking in and out doing laundry, and so when I look over, I can see him doing this on my thing, like I can see him rolling his thing up, and I go over and there's a needle on the counter. I said, "What the are you doing?" I was like, "I said you can't do drugs here." He's like, "Why?" He's like, "What?" Like intentionally. So that's how disrespectful people can be. You tell him no, and he actually went out to his car and grabbed a needle full of drugs and was going to come put it in his arm in front of me. Just be that disrespectful. So I said when he got here, like you can't do no, like you don't do no drugs, sir. No drugs, no drugs. That's what I'm saying. That's how slick people can be. They think you're not going to say something to them. Well, I'm going to because I'm not. You can't do drugs here. In fact, he pulls out a freaking needle. That shit made me uncomfortable. Oh my gosh, like so disrespectful. But that's why I had to bring him in to feel him out. Now I know he's a poker in my neighborhood. I know what to look for. If I never brought him in so I could see him show an ass of himself, then I'm telling you, it doesn't take very long for you to be able to analyze somebody and figure out. Because so many people are living unconscious, or they think other people are stupid. Junkies especially think other people are stupid, and I don't know why. Like they're the ones that are compromised in their own little world. But yeah, he pulled out. I saw he was like lift up his arm, like getting his arm ready and all that, liftlessly on purpose, right in front of me, or like right there where I was walking in and out, and in and out of the room because they were in the living room, and I was going in between the bathroom, bedroom, and the kitchen doing my laundry, and just he had the nerve. I said as soon as he got here, I said you can't do no drugs here. You know, okay, okay, okay. The minute he got a chance, he ran right out to his car, grabbed his shit. I said, "What the fuck are you doing? What's wrong with you?" And then he left. And he tried to come back like 30, 40 minutes later, knock on the door. I said, "Who is it?" And he said his name. I said, "You can't come here." I was like, "You're not welcome here." He's like, "What did I do?" I didn't. All I had to say was, "You are not welcome here." I'm not going to explain myself to somebody. Well, he knows what he did. He's going to come back and kick it and waste people's time. He's trying to waste my time. You're not welcome here no more. Well, what did I do? I don't have to tell him. He knows what he did. He's brought out a needle. That's so gross. To each their own. But when I tell you, when you come in here, you can't do no drugs, and you go out to the car, you get it, bring it in, and you didn't even try to go to the bathroom. You didn't even try to be discreet. That's how disrespectful people will be all the time right under your face. But you have to say something to these people. Because what if you put that needle in your arm and you're... No. No. You cannot do drugs here. I tell everyone when they come, you cannot do drugs here. And see, I'm even being more respectful because I know it's like 4 o'clock in the morning right now. And my neighbors. So I can tell I'm being more respectful because before I didn't care. We smoked. We kicked it. Like, we never did no needle shit. But no, now, like, I'm even being more quiet. Why? Because this is a really safe, peaceful neighborhood. I don't need people come running to my house and put needles in their arms. I can't believe that just happened. And this kid was probably in his 20s. He was Korean because I asked him if he was Asian. So he was like, "Oh, yeah, I'm Asian." So I know he's Korean, skinny build, was wearing a pink sweater, a pink that actually said pink on it. That fentanyl stuff. That shit just came in my house. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. That's crazy. Like, it hasn't hit my town yet. But that was the first sign I saw of it. That's crazy. Oh, yeah, no, it's hit my town, but, like, not, like, where it's just out there walking around like that. It's crazy. But, yeah, we're here. The opiate epidemic, right? I'm glad I'm not him. That's the reason for this video. Yeah. I was never like that. My best friend Rachel was, and she died with a needle in her arm. I know I survived opiates. Like when he was here, he said something about opiate. Yeah. That's what he said. I was like, no, you can't do drugs. He's like, I thought you were talking about opiates. I said, no. I said, you can't do any drugs here. And that's when I realized he was on fentanyl because he said the word opiates. And a lot of people say you can't do opiates here because you can't die here. No, you just can't do any drugs here at my house personally, regardless of what it is. And I told him, I was addicted to opiates for 5 years. I've been off them since I was 15. And I told him, he's like, yeah, because you just don't get high anymore, so you stop, basically. Well, it wasn't doing, I was just sick all the time, and it wasn't doing anything. It was more like, it wasn't worth the hustle, the struggle you have to go through, because pills aren't cheap, and they're very, very hot commodity, like the real stuff. And so, yeah, when I was done, I told this, because I said this boy's in his 20s, I told him when I was off pills, I was doing like 250 milligrams oxys a day. I was doing 4 of those 80 milligrams. I don't know if they're still around or not. I said I washed my hands with it. I have nothing to do with it. Why? Because I just went, oh, it was horrible. But so seeing him, and I was looking at my homie after, Cluckard left, and I said his mom would be so sad. Sad, because, the dude's Korean. Like Korean and white, and my son's black, white, and Korean. So I'm looking at this boy like, like maybe bend over, like sick to my stomach. Like, I pray my son's never out there like that. And nobody ever knows what's going to happen to their kids. Why? We don't. We don't. Jalen knows the truth about why I'm not around. He's not, because I don't want him scared of drugs. I want him to know drugs and stuff took his mommy away for a while. Right? Like I just need him to know that's the outcome. Like, I'm not gone forever, but I had to come back and get, right with God. Yeah, that's basically, because that you have to get right with God. Can't serve 2 masters. Absolutely not. And he'll remind you of that. But no, Jalen knows the danger is not because, you'll get addicted or you don't want to get high, you don't want to drink. No, he knows what happened to him personally. That little boy's strong. He's like, Mom, it's been 10 years. Get over it. I said, I can't get over it. I miss you. He's like, Mom, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And he goes back to, let's get this money. So that's at least the dark humor of our relationship is, let's go get some money, though. Yeah, it is what it is. Just what me and him do. We're fine. But he knows. But yeah, that Korean boy. And my son, I just can't believe that boy was in here with a needle, like, so disrespectful. And that's how they get, too. You can't tell, like, certain people, like, you just can't. And they're so compromised and they're so beyond any sort of moral rationality or just any sort of rational thought process. Like, you really, they said opiates. No, I said no drugs here. Absolutely no drugs here. Yeah. So crazy. I'm still, like, dumbfounded that happened. But yeah, just looking at this little boy. He has to be early 20s. Mid-20s at the most. I don't know what was in his needle. If he said it wasn't, he said when I said you can't get here, he's like, I thought you said it wasn't, just couldn't use opiates. I don't know what he had in his needle then, if it wasn't an opiate. Because fentanyl is supposed to be an opiate, right? I don't know. He had to go. You gotta go. I was like, all right, you gotta go. And then he said he came back. And, well, no, when he left, he was already leaving. Because I didn't kick him out, I was like, oh no, you can't do that here. And then he said opiates, and then, he was leaving to go somewhere. I don't know where the fuck he was going, but he didn't say he was coming back here, but he tried to come back here to come kick it. Why? Because, try to fucking come disrespect me again. Anyway, that was horrible. But yeah, I'll see his face on a milk carton. Not from me doing anything, I'm just saying, he'll end up dead. That shit's in his arm already. He can't be more, God, early 20s. I didn't even do my first drug till I was like 20. God, I didn't start smoking weed till I was 28. So I was super square. I was just always at work drinking and stuff, like strip club shit. We didn't have drugs in strip clubs back then. No, we didn't have drugs out on the track. Like, I think we were like from cocaine era, and we didn't snort no coke. Why? We were broke strippers in Las Vegas. There's like 1,000 girls in every club every night. So yeah, no, we had like alcohol from the bar, whatever bar would serve us to be under 21. Or was it like when I was his age? Yeah, no, we were drinking and kicking it. We weren't putting needles in our arms. So fucking weird. Ew. So we're gonna teach their own. Whatever. I guess you could say when I wanted to get high, I would go to the doctors and I would lie about pain, and they put a needle in my arm. At least I went to the doctors to do it, I guess. You know what I mean? The way he brought it out after I said no drugs here, and then he brings it out too. Right there, so foul. But whatever. He's fighting more demons than I want to even deal with. Even as I said, when he came back, you're not welcome here, and he won't come back. Why? Because he won't. They won't. They try twice, and he tried twice, and it's done. Yeah, because they realize there's no money here, no kicking, there's no warm place, there's nothing warm here for them. And I know opiate people like to get warm. That's what makes you feel warm and cuddly, and lovey-dovey. Yeah, no, there's nothing but coldness here. Yeah, I don't want you to feel nothing warm when you walk up here, so that's why they won't be back. We had to share that experience because, yeah, it's just in my house now, or was in my house. I had to rebuke that bitch.